that's not cheering. Hello, and welcome to the 2025 Uvaside F1 Awards. You see, 2025, it's been a long year, and I feel like I need to put on a show to give the drivers the credit they deserve or don't deserve. So I've got a bunch of awards to give out, and hopefully your favourite driver gets lucky today. I would argue this matters more than the championship, as my opinion means the most. So just support your drivers, good luck to all of them, and let's just get straight into it, right? And before I start, let me just clarify. There will only be one nomination for each driver per category, just so we can avoid having a Max Verstappen wash out by every category. So, yeah, here we go. And for the first award, we have the most improved driver. Straight into it. This can be a driver that has improved throughout the season, has started off rubbish and got better, or one that has just come through leaps and bounds from last season. And our nominations are Oliver Behrman, Carlos Sainz, and Liam Lawson. And for our winner, we have Carlos Sainz. Give it up for Carlos Sainz, everybody. Honestly, Sainz is obviously been a Ferrari, but coming into Williams, who really knows what to expect? Like, Williams was a terrible car last year. We'll get into that, but he started off the season a bit rocky, a few DNFs, just Albon outdoing him the whole time. And then the second half of the season, he really stepped it up, getting 2 podiums and almost finishing with the same amount of points as Albon, which is crazy, depending on seeing the first half of the season. So, well done, Sainz, round of applause. And for our next award, we go to the opposite side of the spectrum, the biggest fall-off. This same sort of basis, but the opposite. Which driver has started off the season strongly and just disappeared over the space of the season? Who fell off the hardest? Simple as that. And for our nominations, we have Sir Lewis Hamilton, not Sir Oscar Piastri, Alexander Albon, and we have Esteban Ocon. And our winner for the biggest fall-off of 2025, give it up for Alex Albon, everybody. Absolutely brilliant. He had a great first half of the season, and I don't know what happened in the second half. Sainz just outdid him the whole time. Literally scored no points from I don't even remember, Singapore or something like that, or Imola. Not Imola. I always say Imola when it's Monza. Something like that. He scored points for a good chunk of the second half of the season. He was actually fighting Kimi Antonelli at the beginning of the season. He had the chance to overtake him in the standings, and then it all just sort of fell off halfway through. So, well done, Albon. You win our award for the biggest fall-off. And on a lighter note, we have the Best Performance Award. I will just put an advisory now. I have separated this into 2 separate awards. We have the Best Performance and we have the Most Dominant Performance. So in this category, we won't have people that win constantly because they've got enough credit as it is. We're just going to have people that put in generational performances who wouldn't usually do that, or even, just performances, not necessarily dominant wins, but this could be fighting up the grid, outperforming their car, whipping their teammate. Something that was wow, left me impressed. And our nominations for the best performance is Max Verstappen in Brazil from the pit lane to the podium. We have Carlos Sainz podium in Baku. And we have Nico Hülkenberg's podium in Silverstone. And our winner, give it up for green, it's Nico Hülkenberg. Well done. Honestly, I know what you're going to say, Nico did a terrible job in qualifying, but this is not the qualifying awards, this is the race awards. And starting from 19th, pulling off a perfect strategy and putting a Sauber onto the podium, who would have saw that coming? I don't think even Hülkenberg saw that coming. So you got to give it to him. It was a great moment in the season. And on the topic of great performances, we have the RB23 award. This would be awarded to dominant performances, ones where the winner just isn't challenged, where just show that they're better than the rest of the grid at this track, and just impressive, dominant wins. And the nominations for this one we have Lando Norris in Mexico City. You have George Russell in Singapore. And we have Max Verstappen in Monza. And our winner of the RB23 award goes to Lando Norris in Mexico. Well done, Norris. 30-second gap above the rest of the grid. Once he went off at the front at the first lap, there was no catching him. Just a truly dominant performance to take the championship lead. He also took the championship lead with this race. It was a crucial performance from him. And yeah, well done to Lando. And for our next category, we go to the other side, where we have the worst performance of the year. There's been some shockers, man. As much as there have been good performances, there's been some bad ones. And well, what can I say? Just disappointing from these drivers. And our nominations, we have Oscar Piastri in Baku. We have a Lewis Hamilton in Qatar. And we have Charles Leclerc in Silverstone. And our winner of the worst performance of 2025, you know what it is. It's Oscar Piastri in Baku. Oh my goodness gracious, what a shocking weekend. Poor qualifying crashing, stalled at the start of the race, crashed in the lap. Just, honestly, from a championship leader, this is not what we expect to see. Absolutely horrid performance. But you have an award, so well done, Oscar. And speaking of Oscar, we have a brand new award. This is known as the Moet Bottle Award. As the bottle sponsors of F1 that they pop on the podium, I thought, how kind of it to be giving awards to the biggest bottler of the year. And this year, it was a pretty unanimous decision. Oscar Piastri, well done. Bottle of the year, mate. From 34 points ahead in the championship to ended up third in the standings. What happened? Just what happened? I feel like McLaren, you've got to sign something in a contract saying you must bottle a year before you win the championship. So just pick your head up, Oscar. Next year you might have a chance. And to our next award, we have the best overtake of the year. I know, people have been complaining about dirty air, not really a great amount of overtakes. I've even spoken about it before. But there has been a few fine overtakes, maybe further down the grid, some at the front. And we have to appreciate the ones when we see it. And our nominations for the best overtake are Oscar Piastri over Lewis Hamilton in the Australian Grand Prix. Or in fact, you could put any Oscar Piastri around the outside overtake, they were beautiful. We have Max Verstappen over Oscar Piastri in Imola. And we have Charles Leclerc over George Russell in Zandvoort. 3 beautiful overtakes, all very deserving of the win, but it can only go to one person, and that is Max Verstappen in Imola. Oh my goodness gracious. Like that one commentator said, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, he had an outer body experience, and so did I. That was absolutely majestic from Verstappen. Crucial overtake. Right off the first lap, caught Oscar sleeping. Oscar scared on the brakes, and Max just powered through and went on to win the race. So great job from Max. Only Max can do that. Oscar could probably do that too, but Max did it. So he gets the award. So well done, Max. And next we go to a rather unfortunate award, the Crash of the Year. Look, I understand, I don't want to see no one get injured in the sport of Formula 1. I don't want to see any deaths, that's tragic for everybody involved. However, crashes do bring entertainment. Crashes bring a spectacle, an element of risk to the sport. I just want to highlight the biggest, the best. I don't know if I can really say the best crashes, but that's how I'm going to put it, the Crash of the Year. And our nominations, Oscar Piastri in Baku, Gabriel Bortoleto in Brazil, and we have Jack Doohan's crash in Suzuka. And our winner for the Crash of the Year, it's got to go to Jack Doohan. Oh my goodness. I know he's not on the grid anymore, so well done for him getting an award. He couldn't make the show tonight. He's crashing in some other super formula. He was busy crashing, so he couldn't make the award show, I'm sorry. But honestly, just the nature of it. DRS open around the corner because he heard it in a game or on a simulator. What? This guy was a menace to F1. Good job he's out. Big crash, very fast, very stupid. Just, yeah, who else deserved it but Jack Doohan? Well done to you. And next, we pay tribute with this award. We call this the Brosades Award. Brosades Award gets nominated to the fiercest rivalry within F1. This season, it's been quite friendly between a lot of people. but you'll have the odd rivalry or two. Competitively, I feel like we should give some credit to the people that have put up fights outside of the racetrack or on the racetrack. Now the nominations for this. We have McLaren versus McLaren. Yes, themselves. We have Lewis Hamilton versus his engineer. And we have Lance Stroll versus Bortoleto. And our winner for the inaugural Brosades Award. Give it up for Lewis Hamilton's engineer, everyone. Since the very first race, they were literally not gelling along. Lewis Hamilton's been shouting at the engineers since the start, right to the very end, just getting mad. They just seem to not be able to connect. And that's caused a lot of struggles and a lot of annoyed races for Hamilton. Especially being in a car like the Ferrari. I can understand why he's crashing out. And that engineer seems a bit brain dead, but I can't take sides here, I'm just a host. Anyways, well done Hamilton for the Brosades Award. Literally named after you, so you gotta respect it. And now, we have the Best Radio Award. Obviously, I've mentioned before, the radios were a great part of this season. They always are great, just to hear what the drivers are thinking while in the cockpit, going at hundreds of miles an hour. It's very interesting to just see what they have to say. And I decided to pick a few of my favourite ones. Our nominations for the Best Radio. Fernando Alonso in Singapore. We have George Russell in Mexico. And we have Charles Leclerc in Hungary. And our winner for the Best Radio of the Year, George Russell. Everybody give it up for George Russell. Honestly, this radio just made me laugh. I thought it was very funny. Very British. So you could argue it's British bias, because I'm British myself. And I thought it's funny just saying he's got a McLaren up my arse. Just a radio crash out. Who doesn't love a radio crash out? It was a close fight between the three nominations, but this is just, pure British sarcasm, if I haven't mentioned already. It just doesn't get better than that, does it? So well done, George Russell, as much as I hate you. And now we must credit the designers with the best livery in 2025. We've had a lot of custom liveries, some a lot better than others, and now's the time they get the credit they deserve. Our nominations for the best livery, we have the Red Bull in Japan. We have the Haas in Japan. And we have the Racing Bulls in Great Britain. Just take a second to look at that screen. All absolutely wonderful liveries. Fair play to all the designers. You did an incredible job this year. And our winner, there can only be one. And it's the Red Bull in Japan. I know, it's a very simple design. Just go for the white. But what gets better than that? It's just beautiful looking, very clean. Complements the red and the yellow of the Red Bull logos. Celebrating Honda. I think that's the reason they did it. I can't say much. It's just a masterpiece to look at. What a spectacle. Everyone just take a second to admire the white Red Bull. Just bring it back next year for the sake of it. I think everyone wants to see that. And now to the serious best race. Now, I know we've complained about a lot of races and overtakes, but we've had some good action through some races, some drama, some weather, some rules affecting all these different races, and some led to be more interesting than others. And here is where we award the best race of the season. We have the Australian Grand Prix, we have the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we have the British Grand Prix. And our winner for Race of the Year, starting off with a bang, it was Australia. And I can agree here, the weather probably made it more interesting with the rain. We had crashes left, right and centre, and which I said, I enjoy a good crash. It makes some excitement. We love a safety car, changes in strategy, lots of differences, lots of drama. We had Oscar coming off and then still making it back onto the track to make it into the points, which is very impressive, despite the slip. Lando Norris holding back Verstappen the entire race. It was a great watch. We had Lewis Hamilton in the lead for a bit as well. I have to big up Lewis Hamilton. Fair play to him. Very exciting race. Anyone could have had it. But ultimately, it was Lando Norris' day. Well done, Australia. And that's the first race of the season, so obviously it's gone downhill from here. Now we'll talk about the worst race of the season. Now, some of these races were just dreary, man. I don't know how else to put it. Nothing went on, no overtakes. A lot of these races are hard to overtake with the cars we have now. Well, not anymore, because we're going to new regulations. But anyways, here are our nominations for the worst race of the year. We have the Japanese Grand Prix. We have the Qatar Grand Prix. And we have the Singapore Grand Prix. And our winner for worst race of the year, it has to be the Qatar Grand Prix, man. Absolutely disgraceful. Just throw it in a bin, man. It's literally a MotoGP track. They shouldn't race around it. Two-stop strategy. Once the safety car came out, every ounce of intrigue went because everyone had the same strategy, exactly the same. McLaren bottled it, and that was the only exciting part about the race. Just, nothing really happened. Hulkenberg crashed. McLaren bottled. Max won. Just no real space for overtakes. Big DRS train race. And we expect better. We need better races. And I heard Portimao's coming back for 2027, so that should be interesting. Hopefully they can keep this trend up and bring back exciting races for the fans. Now, to honour a special soldier, one of the legendary drivers, one of the drivers of our time, we have the Latifi Award. Best way put, this is for the P20s of the grid. This is for the DNFers of the grid. For the worst of the season, essentially. These people have had stinky seasons, whole way through. Just shocking, disappointing, and here's the time to credit them. Our nominations for the Latifi Award. We have Yuki Tsunoda. We have Lancimus Strolomus. That is his real full name. And we have a tag team here of the Alpine boys, being Colo Pinto and Jack Doohan. And our winner of the inaugural Latifi Award. Give it up for the Alpines, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute worst car, shocking. Both of them scored no points. Gasly smoked them all, managing to score some points in that Alpine, so fair play to Gasly. But Doohan, I don't know how he's managed to get 2 awards when he's not even in the F1 anymore. You got to respect his game. He made an impact in the 5 races for being shockingly shit. And Colapinto just was nowhere really. Hasn't had a great season. The only 2 drivers to score no points this season. The only people worthy of a Latifi Award. So, you know what, everyone, can we boo Alpine for having a terrible year? Go on, boo. Yeah, just boo him. Disgraceful. Just kick the whole team out. And give Gasly a good spot. Okay. The next award, the midfielders. We have to give them credit. Sometimes they're the people that keep the race interesting. Or the front of the race are just stuck in line, following each other, can't get past with dirty air. The midfielders always never fail to provide us with some entertainment. So I feel like the Midfield Maestro, oh God, I can't even say it. The Midfield Maestro Award should be given to the midfield driver who has given us the most entertainment this season, the best of racing this season. And our nominations are... there's no nominations. It's just straight to the winner. Carlos Sainz, well done. Absolutely brilliant job, Carlos Sainz. 2 podiums, brilliant racing. Bit unlucky sometimes, but always brought action to the grid. Just a great start to having a grid. I'm glad Williams has worked out for him. Everyone wants to see more Sainz podiums. Brilliant. Just truly brilliant from him. Finishing in 9th in the standings. If there was any more races, he would have overtaken Albon. Well done, Sainz. Can you even call Williams a midfield car at this point? They are actually mid of the mid. 5th place mid. Better than the rest of them. Okay, speaking of teams, Team of the Year. Simply put, best team of the year. What else can I say? We've had some interesting performance from these teams throughout the season. Some good uptrends in form, some dips, some shake it all about hokey pokies, and let's see who deserves the award the most. Our nominations: Red Bull Racing, Williams, and McLaren. And our winner for Team of the Year. Give up for Williams, everybody. While Williams went fine up the front for wins, you can't deny the progress they made in the past year. They finished 9th last season, struggling to score points. And to come in this year, while focused on 2026, bear in mind, and finish 5th in the Constructors comfortably with both drivers in the top 10, you've got to give credit to the massive improvement that Williams have had. The other nominations, Red Bull, they only have 1 driver and they weren't strong all season. McLaren have had their own issues. I think they could have won way easier if they just didn't bottle it so much. So Williams, to me, is the outlier. The epitome of progression. That's a great way to put it. So everyone just, one more round of applause for Williams. Hopefully, going into new regulations, they get even better, and then we see some Williams winning, potentially championship item. Don't we all want to see that? Now for the big dogs, the big awards. Rookie of the Year. See, this year, this is interesting because we've had 5 new rookies. I'm not counting Liam Lawson. He's not a rookie, I don't care. I just don't care, he's not a rookie. So yeah, they've all been pretty impressive actually this season, besides Duran obviously, and Colapinto weren't great either. However, the rest of them had pretty good seasons, making this a very tight-knit fight for this award tonight. And on nominations, we have Oliver Behrman, Kimi Antonelli, and Isaac Hadjar. And the winner for the Rookie of the Year 2025. Give it up for Isaac Hadjar, everybody. Absolutely brilliant season. If I'm being completely honest, this was a really close fight between Behrman and Hadjar because they both outperformed their teammates to a degree, both outperformed their cars, putting some very good results. But I just believe Hadjar was more consistent. We had Behrman, who almost got a race ban for the penalty points he got. While his good run of 11th places and he was in the points a lot, it's got to be recognised. I think Isaac Hadjar had the consistency, the constant Q3 appearances, and even a cheeky podium to top it off. So, well done, Isaac Hadjar. Good luck on your promotion in Red Bull. Hopefully we don't see you on the other side next year. And for our final award, the biggest one of the night, Driver of the Year. We've had great fights between all the drivers. We've had great performances from all of the drivers, or most of them anyways. And it was quite hard to determine this one, as there's a lot of different angles you can approach it. But after a lot of deliberating, we have come to a conclusion. Our nominations, I keep saying our, but it's mine. My nominations for Driver of the Year, we have Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and George Russell. And the winner of the 2025 Uvaside F1 Driver of the Year, Max Verstappen. Massive round of applause for Max Verstappen. How Max has won this award? I know Lando's got a championship, but I feel like Max has maximised, no pun intended, everything he can do this year, getting the best out of the car he has. Because sometimes the Red Bull weren't great, sometimes it was great. If it was great, he was winning. Even if it wasn't great, he could potentially win or get a podium. And compared to his teammate just dominating, to bring the title fight back from 104 up to 2 points off the win at the end, you've got to give credit where it's due. He put in a bigger shift than anyone else. While the McLarens tripped up over themselves, he picked up all the pieces. Just a very impressive season. Didn't walk away with the title, but walked away with the Best Driver of the Year award. So that's priceless in comparison. More valuable than anything. Well done, Max. And can we just have one final round of applause to all of our winners tonight? This has been a great night, full of ups and downs, full of heartbreak and heartwarming. I'd like to thank all of you for coming along on this incredible night to celebrate the greatness that is Formula One drivers and Formula One in general. Hopefully next year we can do the same again, even bigger and even better. So from me, I'm Bruv, other side, you know me, Lewis Hamilton, allegedly. And I'm going to get pissed drunk. Good night.